Tell us a little about what it was like to get to know Tim and to maybe learn some of what that community relationship is all about.
Yeah, for me, unfortunately, I never got to play with Tim. I would have loved to have shared a locker room with him. Just hearing from the guys that I did play with, who did get to play with Tim, and the high words that were spoken of him. Obviously, the amount of people that Tim, the amount of people's lives that Tim touched. Obviously, Alex is talking about it. We're talking about Tim. I mean, there isn't a person around the Red Sox organization that doesn't know Tim, love his family, and just being around the Red Sox for as long as I was able to be around, and have him around, with NESN, and then with his role with the organization and down in spring training, and getting to know him, over the years at golf tournaments and events. He was always present. He was always there. He was always talking to everybody, encouraging everybody. And, it was a huge loss for everybody that knew him, who loved him. Alex said he was thinking about him yesterday, with his fundraising and his walk. I was thinking about him yesterday because I was on the golf course and I had a 49 ball that I was whacking into the trees. Um, so Tim was just a good person, man, I posted something on my Instagram when he passed away. It's just we're all better because we knew Tim, and his legacy will live on forever. And um, man, it's just you know it's sad that he's gone, but man, he touched so many people's lives and made such a big impact while he was here. And I think as human beings, that's all we're trying to do, with the time that we do have.
I think that's so well said. His career ended really right as you got to Boston, as your career came to
Mhm.
Boston. So, kind of touched up against each other that way. But he took it to another level, right? His community service, his work with the Jimmy Fund. You did too. I mean, there's always a Red Sox team captain, but certain guys take that role, and it really resonates with them to the point where you ultimately have a duck boat full of Jimmy Fund clinic patients with you in a championship parade. Well, how did that happen? Well, you know what I mean? You were asked to be the captain. You were already going over there for visits. But when did you realize it's something that resonated with you and that you wanted to do more with than maybe the minimum contribution?
Yeah, I think, shoot, right whenever I got over, uh, 13 was my first year, in spring training with the Red Sox, and uh, Lisa brings all the teenage kids down for a couple of days, and you just kind of see how important it is. At the time, David Ross was captain. I think Will Middlebrooks was captain as well, and I just kind of gravitated towards. I've always loved kids, and I've always kind of gravitated towards um, the younger generation for some reason. I don't know if it's because I'm a kid at heart or I'm a little bit immature or whatever it might be, but I've always enjoyed kids. Like, other than playing professional baseball, I've always only ever wanted to be a dad, So, I think for me, it hit me real early in my Red Sox career. And fortunately, I was asked to be captain. I think the next year with Pablo, we were co-captains, and then I was a captain there every year since. And it was an easy yes for me. And um, once I started to get more involved and start building relationships with people like Lisa at the clinic, and the doctors and nurses, and meeting families and building relationships with kids there, and it became more than just me being captain. Like, I started caring about the people, and building those relationships. And um, for me, it's that's kind of what life is about, is loving on people, and in that role, I was able to do that. And I think that's why I'm so excited about what we're doing now. TC is getting to continue to do that, continue to build those relationships, and continue to do whatever we can to help out however we can. So, it's just a special organization to be a part of. Obviously, I wish the Jimmy Fund didn't exist, because I wish kids didn't get cancer. I wish nobody got cancer, but For us to be able to do what we can do, and follow in the footsteps of people like Tim is a huge honor.
We mentioned some of the accolades that you had as a baseball player, both in Boston and after, the All-Star appearance. Let's check them all off. Two-time world champion, All-Star, guy who hit for the cycle in the postseason, joining. Yeah, I think that you're probably the only person who ever played for both the Red Sox and the Pirates who ever threw a pitch slower than Tim Wakefield in a Major League Baseball game. But
Yeah.
the fact that you're 30.1 miles an hour, the fact that you do continue to have this relationship with the Jimmy Fund. How much do you kind of enjoy the fact that you have a legacy that endures in Boston, and that it's not just related to those on-field things that we're talking about, but you've been able to. We're not just walking through what you did as a member of the Red Sox, right? Like your kind of history as a member of the Red Sox persists even after your playing career, because of what you've been able to forge something lasting in this dynamic with the Jimmy Fund, and build it with and have your family join you in it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part, right? Lakin was a huge part of it, with me while I was there. But now, getting Griff involved and Ripken, obviously Griff's getting to the age where he can kind of understand things. Ripken's still a little young, but we had Griff's baseball team over the other night, and some of the moms we put together some bags, that they're going to deliver to a local hospital here, and just kind of get the kids, to kind of understand that, life's about, we're very blessed with some of the things that we have, and the health that we've been given, and God willing, we keep that health, long into our 80s, 90s, or whatever it might be. But some people you know aren't blessed with that, and we can do things on our end to kind of help brighten their days. And I hope that we can brighten some kids lives and some families lives here locally in Nashville. But it's huge to have them be a part of this. And I've always said that baseball is what I did. It wasn't who I was or who I am. So people always ask, like, do you miss playing? And there's times when I miss playing, but I played baseball because I was blessed with the ability to do it at a high level. I loved playing. I worked hard, but for me, the relationships that I built with coaches, people in the front office, you guys, while I was there, like that, with teammates, like the kids at the Jimmy Fund, with Lisa, like those are the things that mean more to me than anything else. And baseball was just, that was my job, and that's kind of why I was there, and enabled me to build those relationships and meet the people that I got to meet, and do some of the things that I got to do. So I'm grateful for that. But for me, it's more than that, and it's like I said with Tim, it's trying to impact as many people as we can while we're here on Earth, and in a positive way, and kind of be a light in dark times, and like I said, do whatever we can to help each other. And I think as humans, man, it's sometimes that's looked past, and I think we can all do a better job of loving on one another, and being there for each other.